Jakku does not remember, but he also hails from the town of Lothran. He left Lothran a little bit ago, seeking out a way to acquire some higher power, to acquire things for himself more easily. Upon going out and looking for this power, he met everyone's favorite man, Cthulhu. Cthulhu promised him power, and Jakku accepted this. In exchange, Cthulhu wiped his memories and made his only motivation to spread madness throughout the world. He himself is not quite sane anymore and has convinced himself and Jack and nobody else that he is actually a vampire.
I'm Dargo the Bard. I'm a half-elf hailing from Elandros, a port city in the Sand Nations far to the south of the frontier town where we have been. I'm a bard specializing in the College of Whispers. I was a member of the Digidiri for some time in the port city of Elandros. We specialized in espionage and assassinations and in extortion, strong arm. If you needed information or if you need somebody killed, you came to us and we took care of it discreetly without any questions asked. I fled the port city of Elandros when a hit had gone bad. The city politicians had discovered my coven, and I fled for fear of my life to the north where no one knew who I was or had heard of my order or my city. Dargo was motivated pretty much for self, not really looking out for anybody else, just enjoying the madness of the world around him.
Jack Hemlock is a 28-year-old male human ranger. He wears simple leather armor and carries with him his full-sized fire axe wherever he goes. He comes from a simple upbringing on the outskirts of a backwoods town he and his mother were kicked out of. Raised in the woods, he learned to become self-sufficient at an early age. He helped his hometown with their bigger problems, and one of those problems led him through a portal into this mysterious new world. Here he's met many new people and creatures, some nice and some not so nice. He only seeks one thing above all else. He just wants to go home.
Arilla Dulabavor is a 25-year-old half-elf sorceress with a bit of divinity in her lineage. Hailing from the town of Lothran, her current quest is to find her best friend Nalvier. But when Lothran threatens to fall into chaos, she must put her quest on hold and help Lothran. But all she can think of is trying to get back to her best friend Nalvier.
All right, so
Did we have a long rest?
yes, you had a long rest in the Magnificent Mansions. So, everyone got their spell slots back, full HP, everything like that. You're good to go. So, with that being said, morning comes. You are all woken up by a soft chime that rings throughout the mansion, and everyone wakes up from their different sleeps. Dargo, you wake up remembering the craziest dream of your life perfectly. And with that,
I'm going to wide-eyed stare at Jakku. And
I'm
then
just gonna look back at him and put a single finger up to my lips.
I'm going to kind of awkwardly look around and then just give him a nod.
is anyone
I'll nod back.
was anyone with them at this point in time?
Guess not.
Nope. Okay, so you
Nope.
two just stand there in the hallway, looking like you did the shadiest, like, drug dealer's first drug deal.
The most knowing glances ever.
Yep.
I'm just gonna go downstairs and get some breakfast before the mansion disappears.
Okay. You guys can. There is as much food as you want of whatever variety of your choice laid out on the tables before you. There is a servant that's just. There are several invisible servants, much like Jacques' unseen servant, flittering about, bringing food, drink, and any other amenities that you might need for your breakfast. The mage that was in there is kind of just off doing their own thing, giving you guys your, space. And would you guys like to discuss anything before heading out, or just head straight out?
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
have much
I'm
to
just
discuss.
laughing at what was said in the chat. Parry this, you fool.
What?
Fuck this, you
I-
wizard bitch.
Yeah.
Should I share with the class?
Oh yeah, I've read that
All right.
before, but sure.
Yeah. Wizard, with this spell, I'm immune to your bullets, gunslinger. Uh-huh, Spitz. But do you reckon you're immune to velocity? That's sending the bullet with you. Wizard, I beg your pardon, gunslinger. Well, in mortal words, Dirty Harry. Are you feeling lucky, Merlin? Gunslinger fires bullet. Bullet stops at wizard's magical barrier. Plink, brief beat. Wizard goes flying back at the speed of a bullet.
I was reading the one.
Yay, inertia!
I was reading the one down at the bottom, but
Yeah, I was reading the Star Wars one.
yeah.
Oh,
Same here.
that. There was a follow-up one to that.
Okay, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons, guys.
All right, we're doing
Okay,
it.
this has been derailed at the start of your episode.
We can't just start with this.
We're not good at this.
No. we should just try again next week.
Shall not be infringed, Jed boy. I'm done.
Okay,
All right.
so
Sorry, I'm a Mandalorian through and through.
clearly, all right. So everyone is able to leave the mansion perfectly fine before it collapses. It's up there for 24 hours, so you don't have to worry about it falling. But after everyone has left the mansion, the wizard who had cast it leaves behind you, and you then see the door just disappear in a shimmer. With this, you see the rest of the host out, standing in the, just standing out in the clearing. There's no sign of the dead Kulidai that you had slew the other day, and it's just all peaceful and quiet right now. So, the guild leader comes up to you guys, just kind of looks at you. It's like, so you guys said that these things came out of the mine, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. And apparently yesterday something collapsed it.
I collapsed it with my mind.
Right. Okay. Well, we will. We'll have to go clear that out then. So.
I mean, if you want, I can just clear it out, and then you guys can go in, and then I got your back. I promise nothing bad will happen to you.
I found
I
that
wouldn't,
questionable at best.
Yes.
No, we got your back. Don't worry.
Okay.
Totally.
All right then. Well, let's head to the mine shaft then and get this expedition underway. Hopefully, we can find their nest quick enough. Now,
I feel like this is going to be a lot harder than you think it's going to be.
what makes you say that, Jack?
Oh, they appear to be the swarmy type, and the
Swarmy
way
type.
swarms work, they breed quick like rabbits.
Well, having
We've
these
been
things.
fighting these things for the course of. Looks down at his hand and starts calculating how long he's been in this world. Like at least 8 months.
All right then. Well, we will keep an eye out that. I mean, these things by nature have been a swarm mentality the entire time we've known of them, so it's not too surprising.
It's the worst kind of mentality.
Yes, it is. So, anyway, let's just... If Jakku wants to clear the front of the mine out, we'll do that. And then from there, we will move further into the expedition. We're probably going to go as far as the old Dwarven Keep. So...
That sounds good. Just so
It's not
that
gonna be
I
far enough.
have all of my spell slots, though, after I clear out the front of the mine shaft, I might need to just rest for an hour to be able to be at my full efficiency.
Okay.
The dwarven mine keep won't be far enough.
What makes you say that, Dargo?
We need to go deeper.
Deeper, you say?
Last time we were here, we found them much deeper than the old dwarven city.
Well, if they're already breaching the surface as readily as they are now, just going to the old Dwarven city will be far enough.
Alright. If you say so.
So, just enough to clear out any... to give us a foothold. And that's really all we need for right now. Yes?
I'm gonna pull out my rod.
That's a nice metal rod you have there.
It is.
Thought we
Okay.
were going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm going to kind of examine it in the light and say this rod controls a very special kind of machine that I hold very close to me. And it should still be down in this mine's dwarven place.
well, if it's still down there, hopefully we can recover it.
That would be great. That would mean so much to me.
If it's not destroyed, that is.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough beast of a machine, so hopefully it's still in one piece.
What
It
was
doesn't
its name
need
again?
like oiled regularly, does it?
The pearl black.
Oh yeah.
Does the
No.
pearl need oiled?
It's self-lubricating.
Okay.
It uses the blood of its enemies as lubrication.
Yes. And it has killed at least one, so it should be good for a little while.
Anyway. Alright, we will go find this pearl blood that you speak of. Maybe it can be an asset.
Oh, it's an asset.
Okay, then. Well, we will see about...
It puts very large holes inside living things and makes them not living things.
That
Exactly.
is very good to hear.
Jack is very familiar with the pearl black.
Did Jack get hit by the pearl black?
No, but he's seen it in action.
Well, alright. We will... You said it's down by the old city, correct?
Yes.
Alright. Then...
Because at the base of this old city was a breach leading to further into the Underdark, and we had to leave the machine here last time we ventured down this far.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can recover it then if it's still in one piece. So...
Hi, Arilla.
Yes.
Remember how I said fireball isn't always the answer?
It's definitely the answer here. I know.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, all right. We're on the same page. Good. I appreciate not being inside the fireball for future reference.
Noted. But I can work it around you so it doesn't burn quite as bad.
Why didn't you do that last time then?
You could be the
I did.
fireball.
Yeah, she did. And see, look, you're fine.
One of those I was in.
Yeah, but she made it go around you, so it only kind of hurt. She was careful.
I'm getting better at it. Eventually, I might be able to, like protect. I don't know, but I'm getting better. And I tried really hard not to get you with it, even though you were directly in the way.
Let's practice one fireball at a time.
Yeah, I mean, I can practice right now if you like.
I'd rather you save it for the things that need to die.
Fair enough.
Specifically, not me.
Jack,
Fair enough.
my advice to you would to just be, don't be where she's gonna cast fireball.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, maybe Jack just hangs out up here and lets you guys deal with your problems via fireball.
Well, look. Okay, if
Jack
you're that
likes being
worried,
useful, and Jack anything.
if you get hurt, I'll bring you back.
I'll sing songs if you're got
I
injured
will
in battle.
not be a subservient ghoul to you, Mr. Vampire.
Oh my
I'll
gosh!
just
You
heal
offer
you, Jack.
people immortality, and they get so sensitive.
Jack, I'll just heal you. I think we know that I can heal you pretty well.
I do have heals too.
I can
Yeah.
heal myself, and that's what's important, right, guys?
I like 2 of
Yeah.
those 3 statements. So when we going down to see our inevitable doom?
Uh-huh.
So
Is that like now, or are we gonna like postpone that till next year?
we can go down now, or as soon as everyone's ready. The
Let's
last of the hosts should be stepping out of their mansions now.
Well,
We have a
Look who
vanguard.
slept in.
I'm gonna look at Jack and be like, Jack, don't worry, buddy. This isn't your inevitable doom. Later.
Slowly blinks one eye, then the other. I don't want to know what you're having in mind there. So let's just deal with the current situational problem.
Just
That
remember, I've got your back.
is what I'm concerned about.
Okay. You don't need no help. Who doesn't need any help over here, Mister?
Would you accept my help, Jack?
Yes.
Very
I
well.
just don't want a vampire biting me in the back.
He's not a
I'm not
vampire.
gonna bite you in the back while
Probably
you're
be like
awake.
the neck area.
Yeah,
So-
it'd be the neck, and I already told you I'm not gonna bite you while you're awake. I'd
Uh,
only do that like if I needed to save your life, and it can be cured.
I'm going to push Jakku.
So the tunnel.
Adventure time. Come on, grab your friend. Down the tunnel toward the Coolidai's end.
Come on, grab your friends. We're descending into darkness.
All right.
Untold horrors and blood away. Come on, grab your friends.
What the
I've never
fuck?
seen Adventure Time. How close was I?
Very off.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear any of you guys because my internet crapped out. One sec.
I think that's what it would look like with Jack going down the tunnel.
Yes.
I like that there's a butt flap in the pajamas. That is something Jack would be wearing.
Just complete with the balloon and everything. And
Mhm.
the expression. Exactly that expression.
Alrighty, so with that, the guild lead basically starts organizing everyone into groups, and you see a host go out to slowly start working the mine open after basically in a way so Jakku doesn't have to expend his spell slots. It's just a lot of people picking up rock and moving rubble at this point, essentially. So takes about 2 hours or 3 hours for the entryway to finally be cleared open. But when it is, you guys are able to wrong button. Progress perfectly fine. And you are headed once more into towards the Dwarven City and the Underdark. So, the of the guild, you see a group which you can assume to be rogues head out. They kind of take point on this. Everyone is given a map. It's a very well detailed map of the entire underground system that has been explored. It's extensive. I don't have a map for you guys today. I'll have to get a map for you guys sometime soon here. But you can see all the branching pathways just twisting and turning and spiraling. The one that the guild lead has actually has two different perspectives on it. You can see one from the top down, and then there's one from the side where you can see some of the passageways kind of just working their way down to give a much better perspective, three-dimensional almost. And the path that is trotted towards the dwarven city is well mapped and marked. You can see old torch sconces hanging in the walls. You can see different markers or things hanging in the cave walls, just as reference points or anything to that like. And overall, progress is smooth. You do remember it takes a few hours to get down into the dwarven mine, into the old city itself. After about 2 hours of travel, from the best you guess, you start seeing a change in the surroundings. The air temperature drops drastically, and everything up to this point has been a slow, gradual change. You can feel the dampness creeping in, the cold working its way into your bones, but then it's just a sudden drop in temperature. And after about 15 to 20 more minutes of travel, you can see those same fleshy vines just starting to appear on the wall. Very much what you guys saw in the other Kuladai nest that you'd encountered. It's that same almost like living vine appearance to the walls, as the vines start sparse and very thin, very much like small veins. But then the further you travel in, the thicker the vines get and the more numerous they are, until the stone beneath is completely choked out by this unnatural material. About another hour later, after you start seeing the change in terrain, the host breaks for lunch. Lets everyone rest and grab some water. A couple people eat tack and just lightly eat food. It's nothing heavy or serious. During this time, you see roving adventurers or different mercenaries walking up and down the host, asking people just different questions, if they're feeling alright, if they're experiencing any difficulties, either breathing or any kind of mental images. Overall, the host seems fine. There are a couple of people that report issues, but nothing serious.
Is anyone hearing voices yet?
Make a perception check.
While he's doing that, I'm going to pull my rod out and shoot it up to the sky.
Okay, you can do so.
Is there any...
Alright, I can hear you again.
Welcome back.
Is
Sorry.
there,
Thanks. It's doing this in about 30-second intervals, and it's got me feeling real happy.
Also, I had an issue, just the same one, so.
Oh, sorry.
Someone hit a pole on our street a couple of days ago, and our internet's been kind of spotty ever since.
Okay.
Did you try
Very
and go
nice.
back and hit the pole from the other side?
I
He's
did
got a
not.
point. He's got a point.
Did you try turning off and on again?
Turns off entire city block. I'm sorry.
Is the router turned on? Is the router turned on? Rubs router sensually. No, I don't think so.
Moving forward. Try poking the wires with a metal pole. Dargy, you have a metal pole. Go poke the wires.
Bet.
Okay. So.
Hold my
As
beer.
long as you don't poke two at the
Bless you.
same time, you should be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to complete that circuit.
I mean, why do you think birds only ever sit on one? That's all they need to charge.
Those bastards.
Yeah, birds aren't real.
No.
They're not.
There was a update failure. That's why Corona is taking so long.
Yep.
Get the birds back online.
No, they had to resort to their larger birds. That's why you're seeing a lot more ravens.
Ravens and vultures.
Yep.
Better cameras. Battery
Yep.
life.
Yep. So,
Anyways,
back to the game, please. Yes. So, the party host, just overall, seems fine. There's a couple people that are pulled off to the side, and you can hear them just hushed whispers and just talking. But so after about a 20-minute rest, you guys are put back on track to resume your trek down further into the city. About, from what you remember, 20 minutes out from the city proper, where you can first see and lay eyes upon the lost city, or abandoned city, I should say. The ground is covered in these tendrils, and it is essentially difficult terrain as you trek across it. Progress is slowed. There are some people who slip and fall on them. It's uneven, unsteady terrain. For the
do
most
we
part.
have eyes on the chasm again?
Not yet. You guys are almost there.
All right.
So, um, so getting back. Wait, the chasm. Oh, you mean the city itself now?
Yeah.
You guys finally are able to get to the city, and you're able to, you're able to get to the city, and you're able to see into it. And what you see is much different from what you remember last time. The city, which was already looked ruinous and very, it looked ruined but still pristine, as if trapped in time. Some of the buildings were destroyed, but a lot of them were still standing and looked fine. You can tell that there was some effort to restore or reinforce some of the worst buildings, but most of that is centered around the what was it? The manor, which you could just only assume to be the lord of the city or the king of the city's home. But from what you see is just a dark hellscape, if one would say. Cities are destroyed. These tendrils, just like vines of weed. Feedback. Echo. Okay.
I think it's gone.
Okay, so one of the scouts actually comes back and reports movement up in the ceilings, which, from what you remember, is a good 120 feet up off the ground from where you were. And the host kind of takes their stock. Yeah, reverb. They take their stock and stay just inside the mouth of the cavern. They kind of just start debating on what to do. You see a couple clerics up there. You see a couple mages, some fighters. You see two individuals with particularly large shields heading towards the front and standing closest to the entrance out of everyone, kind of almost as blockers. But overall, it's mainly just trying to debate on what to do. And you can hear them just speaking, and there is a map of the city on the ground in front of them. They have it sprawled out. They're making note of different entrances and structures and where it could possibly be coming from for an attack. But Other than that, you guys, would you like to weigh in on this deliberation?
I'd like to take my rod out and try to use it once more.
Okay. Are you doing the fireball or magic missile?
Fireball.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's fireball, magic missile, and there's the repeating crossbow. So, as you do so, do you just shoot it straight up in the air?
Yep.
Off on the far end of the city, you see 3 red orbs just arc up into the ceiling and impact the roof before they blossom out in large orbs of just fire and destruction, burning away some of the tendrils that were there, and you hear a distant shrieking before the light, just as quickly as it appeared, flickers out.
A single tear is going to stroll down my face.
Okay. Dargo cries.
It's so beautiful. My baby.
Baby, come back. So, upon seeing this, some of the people in the host are visibly concerned that something just blew up 3 areas in the roof. They're not thinking that this is a different kind of Kulidai that they have yet to run into.
I'm going to see their concerned look and say, yeah, no, don't. That's fine. Don't worry about that one.
Why should we not worry about it?
Because that's mine.
That's yours.
Yeah, I kind of made those fireballs happen.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah, don't. Yeah, I have a friend down there.
Okay. Well, can this friend aid us a little bit more?
Yes, absolutely.
All
I'm
right.
gonna put the staff back up in the air and try to shoot off another fireball.
It shoots off 3 more, and it hits a different section of the ceiling. You hear those screeches and screams once more, these creatures, as some more of the area is burnt away before you hear the distant hissing of it venting. So,
We need to go towards the fireballs.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Ugh, all right.
Jack slowly reaches up and pushes Dargo behind him as he starts moving forward towards the sound.
all right, you're all heading towards the fireballs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so descending down from the entryway of the cavern, you start entering the city proper, and from the ruins that you once saw, fine dwarven craftsmanship and stone engraved artwork is just washed away almost and eroded under the presence of these creatures, as if wiping clean the memory and reclaiming the city. As you walk through, you can see some remains and smears of blood of different adventurers that were caught up in the area and unable to escape whatever was hunting them down. You see long dried splatters of blood on buildings, deep gouges or deep rends in the rock, and just overall destruction. Areas that you knew were already weak to any kind of impact, heavily destroyed as you make your way through these rings. I need everyone to roll a stealth check at disadvantage.
This is all pretty fresh.
I wouldn't say fresh.
Oh
That one.
Oh. They're not exactly fresh, Jack. It's just, you can tell that there was combat here.
Oh! No,
That's
So
two
I
of
don't
us.
think he can.
Second.
I don't think he can roll any lower than that.
Two
No.
net ones.
I mean, he could double net.
Let me.
Do they stack?
Yes.
Can you stack? Like, what would happen if you stacked nat ones?
Your character would then be making death saving throws. Fuck my
A
dice.
nat 1 and a 22. Jesus.
Yeah, well, I had an 18, a 19, and a 3.
Ew.
Jakku, where are you?
See you live.
1 sec, I'm disconnected again.
Hello.
So,
Hello, Jakku, my old friend. Where'd my D20 go?
You don't need that.
nowhere. You don't need it.
Well, I'm trying to find the D20 that was not working for me last week. Let's see if it wants to redeem itself. There it is.
Cannot hear us.
Get my Iwo Jima sand out.
They could be good or bad.
What?
Iwo Jima sand.
It's good.
It was a victory, but at what cost?
The ultimate I won, but at what cost?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it allowed the U.S. to bomb Japan, the
That was the
mainland.
bloodiest Marine Corps engagement, though, man.
No. There's another one. Taipan?
Yeah, the other one is the one where they lost all the officers.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
talking like the Pacific Campaign.
No, there was a worse one in the Pacific Campaign. That was basically, why
it?
did we even fight this? It was a worthless piece of rock that held no strategic value.
It was early on in the war.
No, it was after.
After Iwo.
Yeah. No, it was before Iwo, after Guadal.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was just a flat piece of ground.
Yeah, it was like just swampy terribleness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it. Wasn't that in the Pacific?
Yeah, that wasn't the Pacific.
Yeah, that was right before they got their leave for Australia.
Yeah, it was. No, it was when the dude was a runner. He was running across the airfield and he got blown up and smashed against a tree.
Yeah.
Saipan.
Okay.
No, it wasn't Saipan.
No. That was a different one. But I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. It seems like we're back to not D&D.
Derailed
No,
happened.
we were waiting on you to get back.
Yeah.
Ah,
You may need a stealth check at disadvantage.
Yes.
all right, just a moment.
Hello, Chaco, my old friend. Yep, here it is.
Just a heads up, we all rolled poorly.
2 net ones.
And a 4.
Yeah. We are about as stealthy as a goose in high heels right now.
14.
Okay, so you are the only redeeming one stealth roll out of this. So, as you guys are walking through the city,
Could I just play my bagpipes for flair? Because, I mean, given how stealthily we're not.
yeah, you can do
Right.
that. And
Right,
from
I'm
the
gonna do-
entire walk down here, it's been a very casual. So you all feel like, oh, this is just being hyped up and nothing's going to happen. And you're all just kind of talking loudly, not really caring.
and
I
seeing
am
the fireballs in the
walking
background.
somewhat split off from the bagpipes so that if someone does hurl a spell or arrow toward the sound, it's unlikely to hit me.
Yep, you can do that.
Bagpipes full send.
So, yes, bagpipes will send. So, who would be in the front of the party?
Rangers lead the way.
Yup.
Jack.
Okay. Jack, make a perception check.
I thought that was obvious. Jack is a ranger.
Oh, okay.
I know he's not ranged per se, but
We have the ranger who does melee, the bard who does range, and then the spellcasters.
Hey, look at that, a 19 and not a 1.
Woo!
So 21.
Yay!
Okay, so remember those chirps that you heard?
How can I forget?
Well, you hear them faintly and distantly as that menagerie of just chirps and cheeps and just snarls and growl echo through the chamber. As quiet as they're trying to be. And ironically, you can hear them over Dargo's bagpipes. But you can just hear them off in the distance.
They're here. Everyone get ready.
Ready for what?
I'm going to ready a firebolt in my hand, a cantrip.
Okay. You can do so.
I'll ask Jack with awakened mind to point which way they're coming from.
He points unflinchingly.
Is it like a tunnel or doorway?
It's more of above you.
Welcome to the underground. Everywhere is a possible attack path.
I'm gonna say out loud that I'm gonna try a little trick to keep them from coming as quickly. I'm gonna make it look like that tunnel above us is closed, but you can shoot through where the hole was. And then I will minor image the tunnel above us being shut,
Now,
like a solid stone.
just so you know, there's no tunnel above you. It's more of a dome. So to save you the spell, it's just a
Okay, so it's more like they're running around on the floor above us.
moving around on the ceiling above you,
How high up is the ceiling, roughly?
120 feet.
Wait, I might be able to do this. Jack would like to light a torch and apply it to his longbow
Okay,
and make the medieval version of a flare gun.
so you are lighting an arrow on fire or your torch on fire? Or the bow?
I'm lighting a torch on fire and then shooting the torch via a bow.
Okay. Um,
Or I could just take the pitch off of the torch, throw it on top of the arrow, and shoot that up.
yeah, I'm gonna
That'd be
say do
easier.
that because you're not gonna be like you can do that.
Mhm.
It's just not gonna work as well as you want.
I mean, if you want, I can just cast dancing lights.
No, this is more fun.
Okay.
26 to hit.
You're just shooting up in the sky.
Yeah, I'm aiming up generally like where I hear most of the sound.
Okay. As the arrow flies, it doesn't let off much light, but once it hits the rock and kind of stops, it doesn't sink into the rock just because it's an arrow, but overall, you can just see movement up there. It's very faint before the light goes out.
I will cast dancing lights up toward the ceiling to just give good coverage and light the whole thing up.
Okay.
And that's just a cantrip. I mean, I can cast it in Avray if you want, but it just gives a description.
Now, I believe you. So, it easily
All right.
enough it goes to the how high up are you casting it first off?
120 feet.
Okay, so you can cast it up to the ceiling. So by doing
Yeah,
so, you
the
are
range
able
is
to
120.
light up a good majority of the ceiling. And you can see there are a few creatures up there, large, spindly ones, almost like the vine slip or Kulidai that you had met prior. So it's you can see a group of creatures up there, just kind of hanging out, looking at you. Some moving very slowly, very methodically up in their confines or their area, just watching, not really attacking or anything to that like, just waiting.
I don't think these are their main fighting force. Something else is going to come, and then I think these guys are going to drop on us. I'll say with awakened mind to the party.
Okay.
Noted.
What Jack is preparing for in his mind.
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate.
Yep.
So, I would like to put some sort of structure to my back.
Okay.
That way, I'm starting to utilize more and more cover as we move forward to where our next objective is, as we're getting further in. But I just don't want to have to 360 fight.
Okay. There are plenty of buildings around you can duck into and use as cover. But overall, it's staying on the street is sparse. So, but you can easily find some cover.
Hi, Dargo.
Yeah.
Any connection with Pearl Black by chance? He starts to unsheath his axe, very uncomfortable.
Are you gonna hurt it?
No, but I'd like it to hurt everything else that's not us.
All right. Well, let me give her a little ringy ding here and see if I can't get her attention. So I'm gonna shoot the
What,
shoot
you
the.
got it a ring? Are you two getting married?
I didn't. I wanted to keep that a secret.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep that between us. All right. Then I'm gonna take the staff and then point it up in the air again.
Between you, me, and the creepos on the ceiling.
Wait, what?
I said it's between you, me, and the creepos on the ceiling.
What creepos in the ceiling?
Points directly up at all the movement.
Oh, hey, when did that happen?
How about you pay attention, man?
Were you not listening to the last, 10 minutes of conversation?
I was listening. I mean, I just didn't entirely roll perception. I mean, trying to play the character being oblivious walking through the streets.
Yeah, I mean he has been playing bagpipes.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. So in a little more frantic motion, I'm going to take the rod and point it up in the air to see if I can get a location.
You can easily do so. Which attack are you doing?
I'm going to do another fireball just so I can see it. I'm assuming I wouldn't be able to see a magic missile.
Magic missiles are blue bolts of energy, so I mean.
All right, yeah, I'll
yes.
do a magic missile then.
Okay, you can do that. You see 3 bolts just arc up into the sky. Not too far from you, about 60, 70 feet.
Okay.
But when you do so, you hear more of those shrieks and shrills as it had to attack something, and it attacked a couple of the creatures up on top. Now, with that, since that was... as you have come closer to them as well, you can hear the sounds of combat. So, I would like
it's coming from
the direction of Pearl Black, yes.
My baby's in combat! We need to move!
I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, God.
Initiative is such a strange word. 18.
6.
Oof.
3.
12. All right, so
Should I roll one for Pearl
no,
Black?
Pro Black will go on your turn.
Yeah, I'd have to control it. All right.
Yep. So Arilla, you are up.
Are they still above?
They are still above. You can hear some on the street level attacking the Pearl Black.
Okay, how far away?
It's about 60 to 70 feet, as best you can guess from the
Oh, perfect.
light
It's in
show.
range. I'm going to center my fireball on the ones on the ceiling.
Okay. Oh, the ones on the
And I'm
ceiling
going to.
are 120 feet from you. Sorry.
Well, that's still within my
Yeah,
range.
so
So I'll center there, and then I'm going to cast fireball at level 4.
okay. Roll me some damage, please.
There you go. 34 points of damage. DC save is 17.
Okay. That's 8, 5, 16, and 1. All right. So, of the ones that you shot at, how much damage you do?
34.
34? Okay. You watch as some of these creatures just get immolated, whatever the word is, for burned to death by fire.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Purged.
But they're still up, and they now take note of you guys. So, is that everything in your turn?
Yep.
Okay.
Just a big chunk of damage, I hope.
Oh yeah, it was good damage. So, it's their turn. So, Dargo, roll me for the Pearl Black.
I don't have a stat sheet for that.
Oh, I thought. What happened to your stat sheet I gave you?
Well, last time we used that was a long time ago. Kind of moved since then, so it got lost.
All right.
So its stats are infinite. It can't be damaged.
See, you say these things, but it very well can be damaged. So, crap. All right. Just roll a d20 for me, and I'll see what I can do for the stats. You're going to need to make a couple dexterity saving throws for
Myself or
Pearl
Pearl
Black.
Black?
So, because it is being attacked.
How many do I'm going to roll?
One more. Okay. So it is good on 3 of those. And just keep a note of the damage it takes. 10 points of damage total on that. So, nothing too bad. But for the overall, let's see. All right, so against you guys, the ones that are on the ceiling are going to drop free, and they are going to start their diving, but they are unable to get to you guys this turn. You can just see them drop off the ceiling. So that is there. You see about 4 or 5 of them just let loose from the ceiling, dropping down towards you. You can hear some yells back from the host that you guys had left. And just overall, sounds of combat ring out through the city. So, next up is Dargo.
Does the Pearl Black still have its AoE Steam Blast effect?
Yeah, the vent.
And that is on.
3 fireball cast or 6 fireball casts.
All right, so 2 shots.
You're at 2 shots.
All right. Are there still monsters up on the ceiling?
There's a couple, but it's being harassed right now. So,
Is there anything? I don't have line of sight on it, do I?
no, you do not.
Does it have in general AoE attacks? I don't have the magic missiles and the.
Not really.
If I tell it to cast magic missile, could it identify its targets and engage those targets?
Yes.
What about? Oh well, no. If it's harassed, they're gonna be really too close for a fireball. All right, yeah, I'll cast a magic missile.
Okay.
Tell it to cast magic missile.
All right, you can do so. You hear several more thumps. You hear 3 more blasts as the magic bolts just slam into whatever they impacted.
Okay.
We will resolve. Roll me. What is it? 3d4 plus. Yeah, 3d4 plus 1 or 2. Arilla, what's it for magic missile?
What? I'm sorry?
For magic missile.
It's
What-
3d4 plus his spellcasting modifier.
Okay.
So my spellcasting modifier is 8. $16.
All right, 16 total. Nice.
At least I think it is for magic missile. I'll take a look.
Okay.
No, it's +1.
Plus
so
1.
it's yeah. And what level did you cast it?
It's first level.
All right, then it would be
+1
Three-
per dart, so
yeah, +1 per
3d4
dart.
plus 3 if you're doing it in bulk.
Yeah.
That's 3d4 plus 3.
Yeah. So that'll be 2, 4. That'll be 8 plus 3, 11.
Okay.
Yep.
So. All right. So we'll go with that. 11 damage. All right. And is that your turn, or are you doing anything?
Yeah, because that was able to handle him as a bonus action.
Yeah.
All right. Just 3. Is there anything close to me?
There's stuff up on the ceiling, but that's about it.
Would I be able to get some kind of partial cover?
You could step into a doorway or into a building.
Yeah, I'll go into a doorway as long as I can still have line of sight on everybody.
Okay.
Or yeah, can I move? Can I try to move Pearl Black at all? Or is it kind of restricted to where it's at?
It's kind of restricted just for now.
Okay. Then I'll move into a doorway. Man, there's nothing within line of sight. How close is everybody to me?
I would say you guys were all within 10 to 15 feet of each other. You guys can be dispersed how you'd see fit.
All right, then I will pick my bagpipes up once more and use bardic inspiration on everybody by playing a rousing battle song on my bagpipes.
You can do 1 bardic inspiration per turn.
Then I will inspire one of you. Pick a number. Well, Arola, you'll be 1, Jakku 2, Jack 3.
4 is a reroll.
Or you can just roll a d3.
Yeah, he could do that.
All right, yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, God, why do we gotta be confined to
All right, Jakku, you get the inspiration.
Cool. What kind of die is it?
1d8.
Thank you.
All right, so with that, Jakku, you hear the music from Dargo's bagpipe just kind of fill you with vigor and I guess the will to fight on, survive. All right, bad joke. Never mind.
Oh, it reminds me of my home. I
Yeah.
will fight for my country.
Freedom!
All right, Jakku, you're up.
All right, you said bunch of fuckers on the ceiling, not much else?
Pretty much. From what you can
I'll
see,
follow
you can.
to the same building that everyone's using for cover,
Okay.
and I'll pop off some Eldritch Blasts at the most injured looking one.
Okay. There were a couple that look fairly injured, but as they're diving towards you, you're really not gonna be able to tell too much which ones are which. But roll me an attack.
All right. So that's a 27 to hit for 8 points for the first one,
That'll hit.
and a nat 1 for the second one.
Okay. So the first one will hit, and the second one will go wide. So the nat 1. What does your nat 1 do for your?
I'd say it probably actually hit the top of the doorway, partially collapsing it, kind of making going in and out of the building difficult terrain and a lot harder for us to just lean out and pop off shots.
Okay.
We
Good
have cover now.
Good to know.
We had cover before, we just don't have cover we can really shoot from now, unless they're on the ground.
That works both ways.
So with that, it brings us to. Let me mark his damage down. Okay. Arilla, top of the round, or top of the order, I should say.
Are they all on the ground now?
No, they are still diving on you guys. You can hear some attacking the creature that is the pearl black.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they are still up in the air.
Okay. Still 120 feet away.
Nope, they move 60 feet. So next round they'll be upon you guys.
All right. Let me see here. Fuck it. Before they get to us, I'll try to honk off much as damage as I can. I'll cast Fireball even harder at 5th level.
Ooh, all right.
Mm-hmm.
So roll. What is the saving throw on that?
DC 17.
Okay. Ooh. All right. Where? That's one save. That's one fail. And all right. So you just watch two of these creatures just get smacked by the fireball and just torn to shreds by the heat. And you just watch their lifeless bodies fall as the remaining two keep charging towards you, hell bent on getting to where you guys are at.
Are we all inside the building at this point, save the Pearl Black?
I'm gonna say you guys are all kind of just like clustered up in the building, taking turns peeking out and casting your spells. So, but yes, you are all in the same building, the same general area.
Then I'll hide behind Jack.
Okay. Okay, so you can hide behind Jack. So that brings us to, I think, their turn. Yep, their turn. So, you got. Who was at the doorway?
Gorilla was the last one.
I was, but then I moved out and hid behind Jack.
I think I went before Arilla, right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
it would be me.
Okay. All right. So, I need you to make a. Well, let me roll first. What's your AC at? Oh, never mind. Make a dexterity saving throw. Okay, that's a fail. You're gonna take some damage as the first one reaches the doorway, and kind of that same attack that you'd seen out in the field. It just slams its body into you. You are going to take 12 points of damage, bludgeoning damage, as you get knocked back into the room. So, the second one is
All right.
going to try and hit the same doorway, but since it's a very confined space and the rubble is already there, it really can't move much in, and it's just going to slam into the side of the building. Welcome back. The pearl black off in the distance is going to let off a groan as it is just taking combat damage.
No.
Yes. Let's see. Girl inside. Yes, pretty much.
Just filling in Jack.
Okay. All right. So. Yeah, cool at the doorway. All right. The second one, like I said, is going to smash into the doorway. Overall, nothing much that they can do. You do hear a couple softer impacts on the rooftop, as if something landed on them. And that is their turn. Dargo, you're up.
We have one in the doorway.
Yes, you have actually two in the doorway.
Two in the doorway. All right.
Yes.
I'm going to use. Cast Cloud of Daggers. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to use my staff from the Pearl Black to cast Fireball.
Okay.
On itself.
On itself. Okay.
Like right at its feet.
Okay. It can do so.
Rilla, what's Fireball at for like a first level or whatever it is, its base level spell?
It's 8d6.
Just 8d6, and then what I would use my spell spell DC.
I don't know what the DC the Pearl Black would be. I mean, it's
Yeah. I was just going off of my stats for it.
Yeah, because I had a whole stat block built up from Pearl Black, but
Yeah.
it got lost.
So it's roll 8d6 plus what is it? 1d6 fire damage.
no.
Okay.
It's just 8d6 because that's all fire damage.
8d6. All right.
It's just I had an extra 1d6 because I had casted at a different level.
Gotcha. All right, that makes sense. All right, so 28 fire damage.
Okay.
Go with a spell save of 16.
All right, let me roll for the Pearl Black as well. All right. You hear more creaking of metal and singeing as the pearl black just takes further punishment from its own spell. But you hear
Yeah.
the shrieks and shrills of these creatures just being burned.
All right.
So, and what
That was my bonus action. Now for my turn, I'm going to cast Cloud of Daggers at the doorway,
okay.
and that's a concentration. I'm going to cast that at. Cast that at 3rd level. Creatures take a. It's going to be 64 for if they start their turn in the area or enter that area.
64. Okay. They start their turn in it. That's so.
17 points of
Is
damage.
it start turn only, or enter or start their turn?
It's when it enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that's going to include that having the spell cast upon them.
Correct.
Okay. So
17 points when I hit it, and then they're going to take damage when their turn starts.
okay. So with that, you hear the swirling of daggers just hitting these creatures. Do you have to roll? Do they have to roll save on it or no?
Negative.
Okay. So I rolled poorly for their saves anyway. You hear the impact of these daggers just hitting their skin and cutting away flesh as they shriek. They had already been pretty well burnt up, but overall, it just sounds horrific as they get cut into. So, alright, that brings us to Jacques' turn. Wait, where's Jack?
I think we actually skipped
Yeah.
Jack. So if he wants to go before me, I'm cool with it.
Jack, I don't think you're in the lineup actually.
It's weird.
I screen capped it. Technically, I should have been first.
It's because some of us used init join, and Jack just made an initiative check,
Oh,
but he has an
Yeah.
18.
Okay, so we're just gonna have to remember that then. Alright, so we'll say
Who would
Jack,
you like
it's
to
your
say?
turn.
so one in the doorway still there, right?
Yes, and it is currently there's 2 in the doorway and they're both getting cut up by daggers.
All right. I would like to cast Hunter's Mark on the one and follow up with an axe attack.
Okay, you can do so. Roll your attack. And I don't think you need to do anything special for Hunter's Mark.
24 to hit,
24 will hit.
12 damage plus an additional d6. And it's already taken damage, so it'll also get Colossus Slayer on it.
Okay.
Additional 9 damage. That brings it to 21 damage.
All right. So 21 damage total. Nice, good hit.
Thank you.
This thing is looking rough. Needless to say. All right. So then that brings us to actually we'll go from Jack's turn to Jacques' turn, and then we'll go right back to Jack.
All right. So we have the cloud of daggers on the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then I am going to. There are stairs going up. Like, is this a multi-story building?
Yes, it is.
Be back
I'm
in a
going
second.
to run past Arilla. I'm gonna slap her with a mage armor, and I'm going to make my way up the steps so that I can try and slow down whoever comes in through the roof.
Okay.
Arilla, your AC is now 13 plus Dex. Not sure how much that helps you.
I'm sure it helps enough.
It does a bit.
Yeah. So, with that, I believe it brings us to Arilla's turn. If I remember correctly.
Sorry.
Yep.
This is getting really irritating. Sorry.
What's wrong?
It's both me and Jakku are having internet problems.
Oh.
So like I keep cutting out, and he keeps cutting out.
Well, hey, if you guys want, we can just put it on pause here for next week then. If you want to, until internet problems get fixed and sorted.
If you guys don't mind, just because we are playing with about half the information, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm
I
just kind of limping by on like trying to listen whenever mine cuts out to Arilla's, but she can't hear mine when she cuts out, and sometimes we both do.
yeah, it's not great. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's understandable.
Blame the person who hit the pole.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean,
Goddamn poll
the
workers.
dealing with it has us both kind of too salty to get really into it.
Yeah, I've noticed that.